Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of club rugby. The fixtures aren't out yet, they're out soon enough. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Of course, the official fixtures are going to be announced after the meetings and they will only be available once you see them on the Western Province Club Rugby website. Once they're there, then you know that they are official. Big thanks to Hisense, that's on board with Cape Rugby TV as official technical partner. And of course, Score Energy Drinks. You know that they're on board with Western Province Rugby as the Sevens partner. They're on board with many of the clubs there. You can see behind me right now, Score Energy Drinks. They're also going to be at the Community 10s at Hamadias this weekend. So Score Energy Drinks, firmly entrenched with Western Province Club Rugby. Fantastic drink. In fact, pretty much everywhere I go, I see somebody with a Score can in hand nowadays. Dulux Maitland at 30 Kuberg Road is one of our partners here at Cape Rugby TV. They've been fantastic in supplying us paint and helping us, of course, keep our studios nice and pretty. And then, of course, Colour Tone available, your paint and timber treatment specialists available at any leading hardware store near you. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Tariq van der Ros. Tariq, nice to have you back.
Good evening, JP. Good to be here.
And we're going to talk a little bit about your Community 10s tonight, huh?
Yeah. Happening this Saturday at Israel.
That's going to be good. Lyndon Julius, nice to have you back.
Good evening, JP. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be on the red desk. And I like your punchline, you know, can in hand.
Can in hand.
I like it. I like it. I hope the guys at the Score are listening and watching.
Well, listen, tonight you guys said, you both said that tonight is your show. These are the three clubs that we're talking about tonight, All Saints, Strand, St. George's, they're all out of the Helderberg region. In fact, you said this is the show that you wanted to be.
I did. I can't recall that, but yeah. it's one of those shows where you kind of realize that 5-6 kilometers apart there's three different sort of niches and clubs that are doing their thing, and in their own right they are successful in what they are doing. I mean, there's different, like St. George's and Strand Club are literally divided by a chalk line. That's two fields that they're sharing, like a chalk line. But I mean, it's different. Both success stories.
But you went there yourself. The footage we were about to see, you were there.
Yeah, we went out. So it's a kind of it's a first for me to have gone out to the club as a Cape Rugby as a panel member, and I think it was a really awesome experience. The wind was a bit not on our side, but I think
the wind in the Strand. The wind in the Strand. Tariq, you know the wind in the Strand. You're an old Strand guy. You've been involved there a long time. Strand Pioneers, your recent success there.
Yeah, the wind always a factor. Especially as a captain, you go for the toss. But from the area, you know what to do.
Blows the coin away. You got to put it straight up.
Yeah, one of those things. But those three clubs, All Saints Super B, St. George's Super A, Strand Super C, I think we can look forward to a good season from those clubs.
Yeah. Right, well, first, let's check out our first training session, folks. Strand, of course, in action. Welcome, folks. We're going to get straight into it now, so we're going to kind of rush through things tonight. Ibrahim Latif, of course, interview at Strand.
Het is eigenlijk een privilege om voor Strand Rugby na laatst jaar weer af te raken als hoofdcoach. Niet als hoofdcoach, als een van die hoofdcoaches. So ons ek uit daarna. Daar is maar voel hè. Kyk man, as man net laas jaar se opkoms en die jaar se opkoms maar as 'n massive verskil. Right? So daar is iets wat die klub gedoen het, wat die manne weer gelok het na strand toe. Baie van ons ja, is hoe ze oefen. If you practice, then you play. If you don't practice, you don't play. So you must come to the party.
Met ander woorde, julle gaan baie keer fokus op die ouens wat oefening toe kom.
Yes. Ons het eintlik as strijd by een van die friendlies en as 'n darling wat een van die strijd wat een van die friends is en dan het ons 'n kompetisie aan. Strand Rugby Pioneers Macastan United.
Okay, my naam is Moeir, ek is van Strand. Ek speel vir Strand Rugby Club. Soos julle kan sien, ons is besig met die pre-season. It's lekker hard guys, fitness wise. Ons begin maar nou so 'n bietjie, maar ons besig met op dat julle kan sien die numbers begin ook nou 'n bietjie by te kom. Laas week bietjie minder manne, maar die week elke week improve ons. So ons gou wat die jaar soos wat we kan fitness wise. Hoe fit dat sy is, hoe meer kan sy die bal rond die veld sprei. Second thing that we want to focus on as well is defense. They say attacking is naturally, especially to us strand players. We all touch players, sevens players, so skill comes naturally to us. But it's defense that works, that wins games. So basically, what lacked us last year was a bit on defense, so we try, that's one aspect of our game that we're trying to pick up. But the vibe is good. Coaches are really giving us positive support. The vibe of the club is it's getting better each day, each week. So we're looking forward to a very great season. Hopefully we can, our goal is actually to move out of Super C and move back to Super B because that's basically where we believe we belong. So I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, it's going to be tough, but I think all of our guys were ready for the challenge. We focus mentally, physically, fitness-wise, we'll get us up to scratch. And come season time, I think we're going to take it game by game, but definitely we'll be ready. So the guys better watch out for us.
Right, folks, welcome back. Yeah, apologies for the technical little glitches there early on. Tariq Strand, well, I'm listening to the coach there. He says, no play, no practice, no play.
Yeah, Strand is always, they're always a competitive team, especially up at Gastro. They've been up and down, up to Super B, back to Super C, mid-table Super C last season. So, but, I know Ibrahim, a good tactician, he works hard. And I think they will be competitive this season.
Moeib, speaking to us there, you're very happy with
I'm very happy, I'm very impressed just the way that you see other club players. And when I spoke to him afterwards, he said, it's obviously watching all the interviews and what. So Cape Rugby has sort of like helped him in that sense. I mean, he flowed the interview. We asked him one question and he sort of ran with everything. Tariq mentioned he's bilingual. He gave props to everyone in the club. He mentioned everything. If you listen to him, you could have heard exactly where Strand Rugby Club is at. And I think that's the sense that I got, or that we got when we were there, that they are a club that is not going to be just okay with being mediocre this season.
But interesting to hear what he had to say there about the fact that they know they've got the skills,
Yeah.
but defense wins games. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about how good we are.
Yeah.
We know we're good,
But
we need to defend.
But I think that is because of Ibrahim and his assistant Nico Lewis, that they strategize so well that they know exactly where their loopholes are. I'm sure they've done an analysis of last season. So Mu'id's saying that is obviously what the coach has given through to them, because as a player you wouldn't know that if you had looked at the games and studied the games. And I think Ibrahim and Nico are doing good. They're doing very well obviously with the support of the executive. And I think Strand Rugby is a very positive vibe that they got there.
Well, speaking about Strand Rugby's positive vibe, then I'm sure it's got something to do with the fact that the chairperson there is Gershwin Lades, and for those of you that don't know, of course, Dylan Lades' dad. We managed to speak to him after practice.
Super C is nou nie eintlik 'n afdeling waar ons wil speel nie, maar as deur ons eie toedoen wat ons hier is, maar is definitief die plan om uit Super C deur te kom. En net toe net soos hulle in Engels sê, jy kan sien die manne is besig om goed voor te berei. Ons het lekker paar dinge in plek wat dalk in die verlede nie in plek was nie. So ja, dis ons doelwit is om uit te kom. Ons het byvoorbeeld vroeër as gewoonlik, ons het nuwe coaches, 'n hoofcoach aangestel. Ons het oefening het vroeër begin, soos jy kan sien, verlede jaar, die tyd van die jaar was daar baie minder spelers, maar die getalle getuig nou om te sê die manne is, hulle besef, hulle sal moet harder werk. Ek dink ons is uniek in die feit dat ek sê as finansies is 'n groot uitdaging. En 'n klub soos ons wat geen borge het nie, ons het aansoek gedoen vir borge. Ons hoop om te kry, maar op die oomblik is ons sonder 'n borgskap en ons vra besighede om eintlik by die klub in te koop. Is 'n gemeenskapsklub, is spelers van die gemeenskap. En dit sal goed wees, dit sal net beter wees as 'n mens aan die einde van die dag 'n borgskap kan kry. Ons het die 10de Februarie sal ons 'n oefenkamp hê. Ons het dit verlede jaar ook gedoen, baie vrugte afgewerp. Ons het spanbou sessies deur die jaar, weer 'n winteroefenkamp en ons sê maar net vir die manne, bestuur dit 'n oop deur policy, so kom maar net en kom sê wat jou plan, ons werk aan.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. All right, this is the apple-flavored energy drink, high in caffeine and guarana. It's perfect for when you want to train. You can see the Score logos there behind me. A little bit later in the show, you'll have an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score. So make sure you got your phones handy. 33090 is the number that you want to text. And of course, if you've forgotten the number, then just download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app, and there's an SMS button there, and that allows you to enter the competition. Just send the word SCORE. There you can see Lyndon Julius has his app out, and yeah, of course we're waiting to get the fixtures from Western Provinces. It'll be a few weeks, because once the fixtures are out, the app is much more active, and then it's very easy for you to just check on the app what time the games are, what the results are. But of course, the fixtures are not out yet at Western Province, even though there are some that have said that the fixtures are out. They're not out yet, and will only be released once all the various meetings have been held. So you can watch out on the Western Province Club Rugby website. As soon as they're posted there, then you know they're official. Even if you get the PDF version in Circle, only when it's on the site. We managed to get down to All Saints, of course, All Saints in action, and watch a training session there. Training at All Saints, right, so a slightly different league now. They, of course, been promoted now, come up to Super League B. Your feeling on All Saints there, Tariq? Super League B is going to be a little bit tougher than Super League C.
Super League B is going to be tough for them, but they're preparing well. I mean, if you look at it technically, we go back 16 months. They were still playing in the zonal league.
Yeah.
Now they're in Super B, you know, with the new league structure. So it's a big jump in 16 months. But you know, Jeremy as their coach, assisted by Randall Thomas, assisted by Denzel Davids, they're in good hands. You know, Jeremy, for example, is one of the only coaches, if not the only coach. He's taken 2 clubs up from Super C to Super B. He took Rugby up about 3 years back, and he's taken All Saints up now. I think in the new structure, he's the only coach that has done that. So, you know, they're in good hands, and some good players there as well.
You're nodding like one of those little horsey things in the back of a Datsun.
a three to three. A Y shape, a Y bin. Yeah, I think Jeremy. I wanna share Tariq's sentiment that Jeremy has definitely sort of molded into a proper coach that knows what performance-driven coach. I also think what Jeremy has done is at every club that he's been at, he's tapped into the culture of that club, which is very important. We spoke about this last week on the show and the week before that, where it's all good and well to reward your players, but I mean you got to create the culture to keep that player there from the under 20 right up until he retires or he finishes with club rugby. You want to keep that player because then you create consistency and you create an environment in the club that attracts more players. Because in the Helderberg, it's about 20-kilometer radius. There's 9 clubs, of which only 2 are outside of the Super League structure. So there's many clubs where players can go to. There are options. I mean, even if you go further, there's Eersterivier, Kuilsrivier is not too far. Stellenbosch, there's Blake's, Kalmar, Peniel Villages. So I mean, there's many clubs. You got to keep your players there.
Yeah. So anyway, they seem like they're doing a nice in the practice session there. Let's speak now to their captain, Omar Vanguard. He's going to have his hands full this year. Well, let's see how positive he feels.
Ja, is lekker man, het groot numbers is zo, preparations is goed. So die coaches het alles in plek soos jy kan sien, ons manne oefen lekker hierso. So ons is reg vir Super League B. Ja, soos ek laas gesê het, van Super League, van die zones af, Super League C, Super League, ons is nou by Super League B. Is harde werk, is lekker, ons sweet alles uit. Net vir ons as klub en vir die gemeenskap van Garden Village, soos ek laas gesê het, as dit 'n goeie prestasie en soos ons goed doen, so kry ons net meer manne. Ja, kyk soos jy nou kan sien op die veld, nee, ons het baie nuwe lede. En soos ek kan, maar ons leer mekaar nog ken, ons het seker nou al so 20 nuwe lede wat aangesluit is. So dis net voordelend vir die klub. So ons sien uit na 'n goeie Super League B. Kyk, soos ons gesels het, ons plan om te bly in die top 5. Ons het doelwitte wat ons wil bereik en so. Maar dit wil nie sê ons is nie daar om die league te wen ook nie. So alles wat kom, vat ons, so ons werk hard.
Omar Vanguard, of course, captain at All Saints there, and as we mentioned, All Saints this year playing in Super League B. They've been promoted from Super League C. But now the gentleman that everybody was talking about earlier on was, of course, the coach, their head coach. We managed to speak to him, Jeremy Jansen, at All Saints.
Ja, ons is actually meer as wat ons laas week was. Ons verlede begin met so 36 en 38 ouens. Ons het about 44 vanaand. So ons hoop net die numbers kan improve. Meeste van ons senior players is hierso. So dis 'n pluspunt vir ons. Is belangrik om die conditioning van ons kry. Ons kom van 'n lang vakansie af en alles daai. So die conditioning first up vir die players is goed vir ons voorbereiding vorentoe. Ja, dit is 'n moeilike vraag. Eers moet dit ons al welkom voel. Ek dink is die grootlikste ons bestuur se plig om vir al ons nuwe players mee te hou of te probeer influence om te bly. Maar op die oefenveld hang van ons players self hoe ons dit ons verwelkom. As groot excitement om in Super League B te wees. Ek was nog nie deel van die promotion uit die zones in Super League C toe nie, maar die excitement uit Super League C na B toe is redelik groot. So ek kyk na 9 teams wat kyk na die top 6 posisies. So vir 'n span soos All Saints wat redelik 'n klein community is om in Super League B te kom en compete. En dit is wat ons kom om te doen. Ons kom nie net om die nommers vol te maak nie, maar om goed te doen. So ja, dit is 'n groot uitdaging vir ons, maar is 'n uitdaging wat ons met altoe aan gaan vat.
Right, so it's interesting that Jeremy Jansen says he's not there just to fill the numbers. They're going to have the work cut out for them. If you look at some of the teams there, Primrose, Peniel Villages, Helderberg, Hamlets, Kuilsrivier, those are your top teams. Kraaifontein, Franschhoek. Bottom of the, if you want to call it sort of the bottom of the log guys, but still they've been in Super League B for a while. Belleville, Young Peoples, Collegians, Hands and Hearts. These are salted teams.
These clubs, the other 14 clubs, or including also 15, in Super B is like guys that aren't, that sort of like knocking on the door in Super League A, and then they're also not, they've sort of bursted out of Super League C. So it's sort of like a mid-table, like trying to find their feet. I mean, Hands and Hearts, Hamlets. You don't go to Mamre easily and pick up any points for that matter.
I mean, a lot of those teams
have been in the Super A.
A lot of those teams have been in Super League A and were in fact challenging for Super League A at the end of last year. As we know, Super League B was one of the closest leagues.
Yeah. And I think with the new structure, like Jeremy alluded to, like the top 6, I think there's even more to play for. So your clubs are not wanting only to go for the top 6, but they want to be comfortable in their top 6 position.
Tariq, I just want to bring this into you, just back from my Helderberg space now, and I think about some of the things that I saw on Facebook during the week. I saw Manny Williams post an article that he wrote himself, in addition to making some nice videos. So Manny, if you're watching us right now, fantastic stuff. But I'm just looking at that. There's a kind of a connection between the clubs. People are talking. They're not all from one club. Are we going to see this year the other clubs in the Helderberg Basin supporting across the leagues? In other words, St. George's is going to support All Saints in St. George's in Super League A. Are they going to be supporting All Saints in Super League B? Is All Saints in Super League C going to be supporting Strand in Super League C? Are we going to see this kind of cross love?
JP, I think that's already in place. I mean, if you were to go to a St. George's match and Makassar and All Saints were not playing that weekend, you'll see the first teams of those clubs sitting on the stands there. So that thing is already happening out in the Helderberg. And, the other guys have played at 2 or 3 previous clubs in the Helderberg before, so there is that connection. The guys are all connected on Facebook. I mean, looking at the interview of Umar, for example, he was my vice captain at Salorians. He's won 6 leagues. All the guys know him. He played at Salorians. He was captain at Pioneers. He's captain at All Saints now. So there's all these connections, and on social media the guys are really close. Come Monday morning at work and on Facebook, everyone's connected.
Everyone's connected, yeah. Do yourselves a favour, folks. Go and have a look for the post. I don't know if it was posted on St. George's page.
No, it was on his own page.
On Manny Williams,
on
right?
Page, yeah.
Go and do a little search for Manuel Gunnar Williams. Incredible article that was posted there about the St. George's team that played in the Westbank Sevens now, and some real interesting challenges. I mean, one of the guys broke his hand, and he carried on playing without telling anybody, or the captain broke his hand. I mean, there's some real interesting stories there about a team that went above and beyond, quietly going about their business, and then went on to win the league.
It's the tournament. It's the culture that Lester Ruffle, the head coach, and I must give props to him. Like the culture that is created, it's really like Manny said in his post, in his article. It's really, you want to play for the club, not because
let's talk
of the
about
end.
St. George's later, because we're going to get to St. George's. But just bringing to your attention that there's an article that's worth reading. Go and do a little bit of a search there, folks. If you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all right. There's a number of different flavors. Score's, of course, on board with Western Province Club Rugby as an official partner to the Sevens. And from what I understand, they're also going to be at the Community 10s, all right, this Saturday. That's, of course, at Vygieskraal, Ahmadiyya's Rugby Football Club, presenting the Community 10s. We've got Tariq van der Rasje, who's, of course, head coach at Ahmadiyya's. He's going to be telling us more about that a little bit later. Right, if you want to win yourself a case of Score, 33090 is all that you need to do. Is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Terms and conditions, of course, apply, and you win yourself a case. Congratulations to last week's winner, Wilfred Klute. Wilfred walks away with a case of Score energy drinks. Wilfred, you're going to be a very energetic gentleman. Hope you're going to enjoy it. We're going to talk about the Ahmadiyya's Rugby Football Club Community 10s that's coming up this weekend a little bit later in the show, so make sure you don't go away. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we've still got some of the other teams in the Helderberg Basin that we managed to catch up with, including, of course, St. George's, who just won the Westbank Sevens and have been promoted back into Super League A. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. So it's, of course, Wednesday nights, every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And if you want to catch the repeat, especially the intro there of our show, where unfortunately our sound dropped a little bit, you can catch the repeats on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock through to 10 o'clock. And of course, we upload everything to YouTube. So why don't you go to the YouTube channel, go search for Cape Rugby TV and subscribe. So every time we post something, you immediately get a notification. And we upload everything onto Facebook. Remember that hashtag #WP Club Rugby. And of course, if you share it with us, we will air it. This year, definitely, we will be focusing on the clubs that are sending us content and partnering with Cape Rugby TV. So we're looking forward to that. Strand, at least St. George's, of course, as you know, back into Super League A. They were promoted from Super League B. They were the winners last year of the Western Province Score Sevens 2017 champions. And, of course, now the Westbank Sevens this year as well, which happened over the weekend. We went out to catch one of their practice sessions. right, there we go, folks. Functional training it is. Tariq, a couple of tire flipping there. I mean, Bailey doing some squatting there.
I mean, Bailey doing some squatting. Manny struggling to push over the tire. Clive Mayer watching him rather standing back. So, but nice to see Manny still playing.
But look, you got to work into it. You know, I mean, functional training. You actually need to take a bit of time before your body gets conditioned and get into it. You can't just flip a tire up and down a rugby field first time around. So you kind of got to take a bit of time to get used to it. Eh?
But I think also, JP, it seems like there's a tendency now in a culture within our club rugby that we're sort of taking control of our gymming, like the normal gymming, your traditional sort of sense of gym. Whereas we bring it out on the field, we're adding a bit of rugby, a bit of sport to it, and we're flipping tires. But like you say, it takes time to get into that. Yeah. But the ball is in play from the first practice session. Usually in the previously before, we would take 4 or 5 weeks before the ball would come out. Tackling bags out of Brackenfell, I mean Scott's Dean and Hands on Outs, the guys had poles and tires flipping, squatting with players on your back, and I mean that is the norm now, it seems, and that is brilliant. Yeah, and I think it helps also, players and clubs that tend to complain and want to have. Want to be in a gym setup, want to be at a whatever one of these top gyms and whatever. But I mean, there's few tires you get from your local tire shop that's thrown away. Couple of big tractor tires, and you're all good to go.
Yeah, you can go there to recycle. What's it called?
Replay. No, but those are bicycle tires.
Those are bicycle.
Maybe Manny can start with that one.
You guys are being very mean. You're being very mean to Manny tonight. Eh? No, I think it's fantastic. Of course, like I say, conditioning takes a bit of time to get into it. Incidentally, folks, in addition to the conditioning, sports nutrition is very important. So you can see it on my shirt here. The Evox, of course, official sports nutrition of Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers, and to Western Province Club Rugby. And all club rugby players are allowed to go directly to the factory, the Evox Cape Town warehouse, for their supplements at reduced prices. Charlton Kluter is, of course, their head coach. Well, in fact, 2 coaches there.
Co-head coaches.
Co-head coach, but we've titled him as the head coach. But he's the only one we spoke to there. Charlton Kluter, co-head coach at St. George's, a unique scenario. We managed to speak to him on the side of the field.
Ja, dat definitief ons approach verander hierdie jaar, because ons speel in 'n ander liga. Ons kan nie laas jaar se approach hierdie jaar gebruik nie. Ek gaan baie my kaart uit my bors hou, so ek gaan nie regtig eintlik baie sê nie, maar ons is hier net om te compete. We are here to stay. Ja, ons het 'n paar ander ouetjies bygekry van ander klubs af wat vir ons dit kan versterk. Dit is ouetjies wat Super A gespeel het laas jaar of vorige jare. So ons hoop daai ouens gaan na die party toe kom en vir die ouens wys wat regtig nog nie daar gespeel het, te kom wys wat gebeur alles in Superliga A. Ja, dis uiters belangrik, want ek het al nou die aand gesê vir die nuwe ouens, as jy die liefde gekry het by St. George's en soos die Lulu soos ons ken, gaan dit vir jou 'n fantastiese jaar wees. So ja, kyk, dit gaan al soos die Engelsman sê, player management. As jy senior speler is nie 100%, jy moet hom nooit druk om nog 'n wedstryd te speel nie. Dis hoekom ons bly is dat daar ander ouetjies bygekom het. So dit gaan vir ons baie, kan ek sê, makliker wees om ons spelers reg te bestuur hierdie jaar. Yeah, obviously the clubs are going to target us to win us or to beat us, but we have done our homework. We have set our targets, and yeah, we're going to see at the end of the day what's going to happen on the field. Well, if I may say so, we're going to take it game for game. So I'm not gonna say in 5 games you want to end up there. So we're going to take it game for game and see, go back to the drawing board after a game and see where we can improve and what we did wrong. So yeah, I say we're going to take it game for game.
Welcome back, everybody. Charlton Kluter, of course, doing incredible work there with St. George's. All right, now you guys can carry on talking about Charlton. You were talking about it earlier on. Let's just recap what you were saying. I think a lot of the folks were listening to what you said, but maybe some of the viewers who haven't met Charlton weren't connecting to what you were saying. You're talking about some great input that he's giving at the club.
Yeah, I think what Charlton and Mirwan Davids has done at St. George's, obviously they've got the coaching staff or guys that back them, the management staff. I think they've really created, or they've taken the St. George's culture and they've just sort of exploded on that and just added on to that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at a practice field, Super League A, you'd expect players, to sort of be sectionalized, first team, second team, third team, but the entire club is together under 20s, third and second and first team, and I think that is exactly what you want, especially if you're a community. If you claim to be a community club, then it must be to the letter. You can't just be a community club when it comes to trying to get sponsorships and trying to get TV time and what. You've got to pull it through.
Yeah. Seen that before,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Clubs who throw the community tag, but
it's not.
But then of course they've got players coming from Pretoria and Kimberley and where.
And
the guys are given cars.
The nice thing about the Helderberg region is that you can actually throw a net around it, so it's a little bit easier that clubs aren't travelling from very far away to come necessarily in the same way that some of the southern suburbs or clubs would operate.
Yeah, I mean the close proximity is a positive and a negative. Positive, in terms of travelling and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Negative in terms of the competition for players, competition for sponsors, the little shop on the corner that 4 clubs go to ask for something.
Yes.
So even if he's giving us only a little bit, because he gives it up to 4 or 6 clubs, which is happening.
I don't want to hear your excuses, all right? Because if you could make it work at Strine Pioneers, all right, and you did make it work.
You did, yeah.
Look at how he's making stories up how it can't happen.
JP, just incidentally, he had one of the biggest sponsors from a big retailer sponsor Sevens tournament and his club for a whole year. A club, nonetheless, was playing in the zones. They didn't have anything. They didn't have a proper stadium.
And he's telling us about how difficult.
No. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm sorry.
We don't buy your excuses, though. If you can do it, they can do it. Everybody can do it. So, in fact, I think you need to give some lessons for. You need to come next time we do media sponsorship workshop lesson. You should be the one standing next to me, or you should be the one doing it. Anyway, the person who's responsible, of course, at St. George's to make sure the club keeps ticking over is the chairperson, Marco Botto. May I speak to him as well?
Wat ons anders gaan doen is, soos julle kan sien, die pre-season preparation het baie vroeër begin. Die numbers lyk goed. Ons gaan baie harder werk. Ek dink ons eerste keer was meer om 'n feel te gaan kry van wat daar aangaan. Maar hierdie keer gaan ons nie vir 'n feel, ons gaan hoop om te bly. Dit is ons mikpunt om te bly dan. Om so 10de te eindig, sodat ons kan bly daar waar ons is. 'n Paar aanwinste, players by om vir ons te versterk. En dan, jy weet mos, goeie hardloop rugby. En ons poging is eintlik om in elke game dit wat ons baie goed doen is om tries te skoor. Ek dink wat ek sien is dat daar baie meer eagerness is. So ek dink hulle is meer gemotiveerd. Nee, ek dink die afrigters het baie vroeër begin met hulle pre-season planne. Verlede jaar het die afrigters eintlik so baie tyd gehad want hulle was baie laat aangestel. So die afrigters het 'n jaar van preparation en dan het hulle geweet wat om te doen om hulle self reg te maak. Wel, die uitdaging is nog elke dag is dit baie moeiliker want ons kry nie regtig nie. Ek dink die mense weet eintlik hoe goed St. George's regtig is nie. Maar ek dink as hulle ons eerste 2 of 3 games gesien het in 2018, dan dink ek gaan die sponsors miskien begin rop.
All right, Tariq, you know Marco. What's he looking for? What does he need? I mean, what is he claiming is going to happen there?
I think he needs about 100,000. I think he'll take it with open arms.
Please just tell me that the money that he needs, or any club that are out there that they need, is not to pay players.
No, it's not to play
No, it's not to play players. I think they're going to buy nice equipment and
look after
that
the
sort of thing.
There's
The traveling.
There's two big expenses at most clubs that I've spoken to. Transport and medical. But the medical is sort of a give and take.
Transport is the common
One
problem.
year you can have a 300 rand medical bill, the next year you can have a 300,000 rand medical bill. But your transport will always be, because for 7 games you're traveling plus minus 15 to 12,000 rand a weekend. That's even before making any money. So.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we're going to talk to you about the Community 10s champs that are happening at Hamadias Football Club this weekend. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's, of course, Cape Rugby TV. I nearly said it's Karate Rugby TV. It's Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday. Right, so you want to win yourself a Hisense H7S Pure Shot mobile phone, all right? It's very easy. All you need to, well, in fact, it's not that easy. We can take a look why it's not that easy. But you need to download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app, all right? So you go download the app, and on the app is a spot the ball competition. This is the third week running this. So last time, for a while, we're going to do a spot the ball competition. We're going to start entering it into some quizzes to give you some other methods to do it. But you can win this Hisense Infinity H7S Pure Shot with 16 gigs of RAM. And of course, it's Android and it's got an octa-core processor and fantastic phone. If you want to win this, you need to go and spot the ball on the Cape Rugby TV mobile app. All right, so let's take a look at the picture, and you can see ABC, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. You know you need to spot the ball. Tariq, want to give it a shot?
I'll go with A1.
A1, and then
You said D2 earlier on.
Did he go with D2? Is there a D2?
I'll go with C1.
I'm surprised you're not going to go with R2.
R2D2.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with C. I'm gonna go with C1. I'm gonna go with C1.
Let's take another look.
C3.
All right, there we go.
C3PO.
So
maybe I'll go with C3. I don't know.
C3.
But I'm still of the opinion that ball is not in that frame of every of the spotted ball competition. I don't know.
Have you made your call?
I'm still going A1, JP. I think you're always throwing us a curveball.
You think we're going to catch you out like the last time?
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to win this or stand a chance to win it, download the mobile app and go check it out. There's also some other great quizzes that you can enter there on the Cape Rugby TV app, where you've got to kind of guess the field or guess the club logo, or what's the other one we got? It's the fields. It's the clubs. Oh, the players, the panels, and members, friends of Cape Rugby TV, where you need to guess. It's a lot of fun. All right, Tariq, this is something you've been preparing for a while now. It's the Ahmadiyya's Community Tens. It's been coming on for a number of years. It starts, of course, this Saturday. I see you've got food stalls, there's kids' entertainment, you've got a nice little flyer that you've sent us. We've got a poster. Let's quickly look at the color poster. There you see it. It's on the screen right now, folks. That's what I'm looking at. We've got a fantastic message here, of course, from Ashraf Joseph, who is, of course, the chairperson at Ahmadiyya's. Clubs that are playing. Primrose, Collegians, Vineyards, Ahmadiyya's, Surrey Estate Rangers, Manenberg Rangers, Ahmadiyya's, quite a number of clubs that you've got entered. Vineyards is there as well. Tell us a little bit more about the event.
Yeah, let's start by the clubs. The original plan was to get clubs from far across the province as possible. One of the clubs we invited was St. George's, but they've got their camp this week. There might be a late entry with All Saints. We're waiting for the call from the chairman, Mr. Nolan Fisher. I hope to get a call from him later this
watching
evening.
Right now. Do you need him to play?
Nolan Fisher. So,
Nolan, you've just had a call from Tariq van der Ros. He wants you to enter All Saints into the Ahmadiyya's Tens. Remember, there's going to be lots of TV. And, of course, I believe Score Energy Drinks is on board at the Tens. Am I right?
Score's on board?
Score's on board.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, we're happy about that.
And what all are they doing? I believe you're going to have tents up.
Tents, banners, flyers, drinks.
Cool drinks.
Rugby. Tens rugby.
Tens rugby. All right. So there you go. There's no reason not to get down to fake it. What time do we start?
We're starting at 8:30. I think the first match up is Primroses in that match.
Yeah.
And then some other big matches as well. Collegians versus Vineyards, to mention a few. And Ahmadiyya's, of course.
All right. Labib Levy's got a coaching course coming up this weekend, folks. Let's quickly take a look at some of the information from the coaching course. He asked to mention that, and Aubrey Noble, of course, also asked us to mention. So the Level 1 coaching course, 21st of March, Western Province Strength and Conditioning coaching courses at least. High Performance Centre starting at 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Minimum of 8 and a maximum of 32 coaches per course. And then again on the 28th of March, and then again on the 4th of April. So we'll keep passing that information on to you. And then we also got some information that came in about the Western Province legends, at least former legends. That's, of course, at the Helderberg Rugby Club. The contact person there is Aubrey Noble on 073-625-3294. It's on the 24th of April and is for the ex-Western Province Federation players. So we'll talk more about that during the weeks to come. So quite a lot of rugby in action, even though we haven't formally got to game time yet. Speaking about game time, where everybody's praying that it's not going to be pushed out, one of the things we have to touch base on here, folks, is the water crisis in Cape Town. please, you need to share what it is that you're doing at your club. Everybody, you need to turn those taps off. We have no choice anymore. It's not a question of using less. You've got to cut it down to pretty much down to nothing. Around the middle of April, there are no more showers. There's nothing to flush the toilets with. You're not going to be able to put on the tap and shave or brush your teeth. Everything is going to change. The life as you know it is going to change immediately. We have to reduce water usage immediately. It's the only way to push back day zero. Folks, it's more serious than you think. It's not casual. Nobody can ignore it. When it hits, it's going to hit everybody. It's going to hit the rich. It's going to hit the poor. It's going to hit the haves. It's going to hit the have-nots. There's no question at the moment that it's not going to be anybody's going to be able to escape this. When the taps go off, they go off for everybody, and it's going to be bad. You have to save water. Tariq, I don't know, I see that there's some water-saving things in action here, but I'm sure both of you can echo the sentiment. Everybody in Cape Town is making an effort now.
Yeah, I've just heard that the cricket season's been cancelled.
In fact, let me just correct that. That was a bad headline because we tend to have, I know what you're talking about. The cricket season hasn't been cancelled. What has been cancelled is they're at the tail end of their season and some of the league games have been cancelled.
Okay.
So folks, whatever you read there in terms of the headline where it says cricket season cancelled, just think it through and read the article properly. So just putting that into context.
Okay, but let's hope it doesn't affect the rugby in any way.
Yeah.
So we get rain soon and get all our fixtures in.
Yeah. Your players making an effort. They're coming with their own drinking
The guys
water.
come with their own water. So we've put in place what we could.
Yeah.
No wasting water and throwing the bottle from one side of the field to the
Yes.
other. It's all those things that used to happen. We've put a stop to that.
Well, it's the little things as well. I was at a workshop last year with the August Cycle Tour and the Two Oceans, and this old story of taking the water bottle and sort of using it to rinse your face. The little things. That's a half a litre. It's gone.
That's gone, and then
You can't do that anymore. Just showering over your head when you're going for a jog. You can't do that anymore.
And you have all these thousands and thousands of cyclists doing that. That adds up. But to get back to the club rugby, I think every club rugby fan, player, administrator are very water conscious. I think also the way that our fields look. I think some clubs are definitely planning around getting their fields irrigated at some way or the other. And I think the plan is that it'll definitely the tips that are flying around on social media and in the media and from word of mouth. I think that'll definitely spiral and get to the point where people will actually implement them.
Well, it would be absolutely fantastic if the city of Cape Town actually told us what's officially going to happen with the sports facilities. And it would be even better if it gets to the point where they do not switch our taps off. But folks, right now, it's in our hands. We don't know who to listen to anymore. So right now, just work on cutting it down to pretty much nothing. All right, save water wherever you can. You're going to need it for things like flushing toilets and so forth. So save water. It doesn't mean that you've got to now take a whole lot of water out of your tap right now and save it for later.
Because we're going to keep it.
You can't do that, all right? You have to stay under the 50 litre per person per day mark. All right, just cut. It is going to be bad if we don't all cut now. Well, it's going to be no chance of pushing day zero back. Anyway, enough of the doom and gloom. Tariq, looking forward to seeing you at the community tents this weekend, of course, at Vryheidskraal. It's going to be great fun. You've been talking about it for 3 months. We've been talking about it for 10 years, but the last 3 months.
Yes, I hope to see everyone there. Bring the families, bring the umbrellas. Lots of score on sale. We'll save some water.
It'll be great fun, Lyndon, thanks for joining us, as always.
Thanks for having me, JP, and I look forward to hearing all good things from the community tents at Amadeus.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us. Remember, you can win your Hisense phone by going to the mobile app, and of course you can win your case of Score energy drinks by SMSing to 33090. Otherwise, get your case of Score at the community tents this weekend. Bye-bye.